Gross profits up. Closing percentages up. But if you at your dealership and you still struggling right now, you not being able to close the deals, and you still putting up mini sales when these people are coming to your dealership, there's a real simple reason for this, and there's an easy fix, and I'm gonna break it down for you right now. As a matter of fact, I'm practicing social distancing, but at the same time, in order for you to really hear me, I need to take the mask down for a second. I'm checking in out here in Hilton Head, South Carolina, at the Peacock Auto Mall, rocking out with Peacock Automotive Group, doing some sales training for the week. But check this out. During this entire pandemic, especially over I'll say the last 45 days or so, I've had the pleasure of being coast to coast, all the way from Colorado, all the way back over here to the East Coast. And let me explain something to you right now. Closing percentages are up, gross profits are up, and here's the reason. Please understand something with me. If you're at a dealership right now and you're engaging with customers that are coming into your store, either it be on an appointment or off lot traffic, please understand this reality. That if this had been February or January and people were walking in, guess what? They might be out to lunch and just decide to stop over to check out on this ride, or they might be on their way home, or it might be a Saturday and they just out killing time and they just wanted to pop in, get some info and go home. But right now, during this quote unquote pandemic, while there's COVID-19 going all over the place, while people are wearing masks, anyone that comes out of their home to show up to your dealership under these conditions, knowing that they're going to enter a building that has between 30 and maybe 70 people in it at any given time, they're going to be engaging with someone who they may not know very well. They're going to be wearing masks and they're going to be in a certain environment. Anybody that's willing to do that and show up, guess what? They not tire kicking. They're not playing. And so if they leave your store without buying, after coming there, spending an hour, 2 hours with you, instead of looking outward, you got to look inward. And here's why I say that. If somebody is willing to risk their potential livelihood, their health, their well-being, because they have interest in a vehicle that they could have did all the looking at it and got all the information off the internet, and you believe that this individual did not buy because of price, or you believe that this individual was not a serious buyer, then shame on us if that's how we feel, because it's untrue. Do you know right now that my dealerships, I'm only going off dealer clients and dealerships that I have, closing percentages are up by 30%. Gross profits are up by an average of $850. Why? Because the quantity may not be there anymore, but I tell you right now, the quality of the customers coming in is as high as it's ever been. This has never happened in the history of the world where we have a global pandemic shutdown like this. There's been pandemics, but never one on this scale. Okay? And so with people being bottled up in their house, more people are still working than not. So if you believe just because those in your neighborhood, those in your family, or a few at your dealership are struggling financially, everybody is not. The vast majority of the workforce, I believe it was over 80%, were still gainfully employed. And a lot of those who were unemployed were affected by the restaurants, or they were unemployable regardless. But at the end of the day, people still have the ability to buy. People still have the credit to be able to be approved. And people still have a need to get from point A to point B safely. And so one of the things that you can do is, A, focus solely on value. Is price an objection? No. But is price something that will always be on the table? Absolutely. Absolutely. But if you believe before these people came in, they didn't see what the price was, think about yourself. How many times today with the internet or the computers we all have in our phones in our pocket, the phones we have in our pocket, how many times somebody just goes someplace completely blindly without looking it up online? It's bullshit. They look it up. So they know what that price is. And so when they're coming in, they at least have an idea. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, you can even sweeten it for them if you needed to. So that's not the issue. But that's an ego way for a salesperson to not blame themselves for a mistake or a mishap causing this person to leave. It's easier to say, oh, the price was too high for him, when that's bullshit. At the end of the day, the price wasn't too high. It's just the value built in it was too low. So I'll stress again, is price always going to be on the table? Absolutely. But remember something, when the experience that they have at your store with you, when I say the experience, meaning from the greeting, from the moment you welcome them and sit them down, are you acting like an interrogator, just getting vehicle information, or are you genuinely concerned about who this person is, getting to know them, and how you can help them solve a transportation problem? See, most salespeople fail to realize that the most successful sales professionals are solution providers. They're problem solvers. Okay? They don't look at themselves as a salesperson, even though that's what we all are. Every human being is always selling an idea, an emotion, a point of view, or a perspective. But when we get into commercial type sales, we're solution providers. Why is McDonald's successful? Because they solve hunger issues and time issues. You can get a burger and fry within 30 seconds without peeling a potato, flattening the patty, washing and cutting up any lettuce. Convenience. Why is Domino's so successful? Because I can sit my lazy ass on the couch and say that I'm hungry and they'll bring my pizza to me. Not like back in the day where I had to ride and go get it. Why is a successful doctor the way he is? Because he helps people maintain and increase and improve their health. So what is he selling? Better health, a dentist, better orthodontist. Every single aspect of sales is about solving a problem and providing a solution. And so when you're engaging with customers, if your objective isn't to identify what transportation problem they were having that got them out of their bed, out of their house with a mask on and into your store, shame on us. And it's as simple as that. Do you realize that the more questions that you ask, and not vehicle related, personal, you separate yourself from everyone else, because everybody just wants to know, what you're looking for, what color, what this, what that, vehicle related. But we forget the why. The what is the vehicle, but the why is that factor that when you're educating them, when you're presenting to them, the why is what it is that will help get them over the fence and more comfortable to do business with you. But how do we discover the why? Through asking the right questions and listening with the intent to understand versus listening with the intent to reply. And what that means is if you caught yourself while your customer is speaking to you and you're cutting them off and say, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off." Yes, you did. Don't say that dumb shit. You meant it. Or else you would have stayed quiet. We got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. So we should listen and watch twice as much as we speak. But most salespeople have diarrhea of the mouth and they want to show how impressive they are. And then the person walks out, or they do all of that good work and catch a mini. And I'm not knocking a mini, because you move the unit, you help somebody, you earn some money. But it's not all about price. None of us go get the cheapest thing. And if you believe that you do, I'll prove that you don't. When we go to the grocery store and we go to the clothing store, nobody buys the cheapest thing. Do you know what we really look for? We look for the least expensive, best option. If you go to Walmart and you see the Honey Nut Cheerios, you got those. But then you see the Great Value. That's another option. It's less expensive. But then you got the bag of the knockoff Honey Nut Cheerios. Now, everybody knows Great Value, yeah, it may not be like the actual Honey Nut Cheerios, but it's damn close. But if you get that bag, that tastes like trash. Okay, so what do we get? We get the Great Value. But if we told somebody, yeah, I went and got the cheapest cereal I could find. No, you didn't, because you could have got the knockoff bag of the Honey Nut Cheerios, but you went with the Great Value. Why? Because it was the least expensive, best option. That's what customers do too. Okay, so stop believing it's all about price and people want the cheapest thing. They want the least expensive, best option. But how do we present to them the best option? By finding out what type of needs, what type of problems they have. And once we identify them, making sure that any vehicle we show them, what those features, what owning it, what this price point, whatever it is, how it benefits them and how it helps them solve a problem, whether it be transportation-wise, economically, maybe it could just be self-esteem-wise, confidence, makes them feel good. Okay, but these things, they're simple ways for you to be able to capitalize in a big way. And I get it. Everybody wants to jump on YouTube, watch a couple of videos, and I appreciate it because I have thousands and thousands of subscribers. But understand something. You are unable to free your way to success, meaning watching YouTube videos is great, but if that was the key that would get you to the next level, think of how many 100,000-aires or millionaires we would have. It's free information, and sometimes free information is good, but great information is never free. But yet it's only for those who are willing to invest in themselves. Because if you're unwilling to invest in you, how the hell do you think anybody else is going to invest in you? Think of that. If you don't think you're worthy to invest $10, $15, $50, $100, $250 in yourself for your development and your progress, how the hell you expect a customer to invest 20, 30, 40,000 with you? Because within that information, that investment in that information for yourself lies the secret, lies the tools, lies the roadmap to make it easier for other people to want to invest in you. So make sure you make a decision. If you know you've been struggling, and I know it's tight, but imagine how tight it'll be 5 years from now if you don't do something today. So click that link in the description. Go on over. I want you to check out how to dominate at the dealership. It will take you instantly. When you download it, listening to audio 1 will take you where it will separate you from the rest in your dealership, let alone at the other stores. And it's hours and hours of more audio and video. It's easy, not a lot of reading, just listening and watching. So click that link, go on over and help me help you. Other than that, stay focused, build value, do the experience. And I'm Brian Maxwell, and I look forward to seeing you at the dealership.